All right. Welcome to our Rail Trail Committee, Rail Trail Advisory Committee meeting today. We're going to start by reading having Josh read the remote participation guidelines. Please take it away, Josh.
All right. Good evening. This open meeting of the Rail Trail Advisory Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. And as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted on the town's website, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the committee is convening remotely via the Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast can be captured by the recording. Meeting materials, supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body and will be shown during this transmission. The public is encouraged to follow along using posted agenda unless noted otherwise. Meeting business ground rules. Before the meeting starts, allow me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda, and after they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold your name until it is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly, like I hope I am right now. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in colloquy with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. For items with public comment, there's an email address for public comments at danversrailtrail.org. This email can be found on the posted agenda. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote.
All right. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. So we're going to get started. The first thing that we need to do is I'm going to just quickly show the agenda, and then I'm assuming everyone has a copy of the agenda. I'm up on my I'm on my Mac. So let me try this here. Screen share, and I'm looking for where do I find the agenda? Let's see it there. Hold on here. Bear with me, folks. I got the agenda. That's the minutes. There we go. See, it's funny. It won't let me do it. Well, I'm going to assume that never mind. Yeah, let's just say never mind. I'll try one more time. I'm going to come back to Zoom, and I'm going to try a screen share. And I see preview of the minutes, but I don't see preview of the agenda. There is the agenda. One more time, folks, and then I'm going to go and give it up. I'm going to give it up. And there's the agenda. All right, there we go. So most of you probably have the agenda, but just in case, we've been through the public comments. The first thing we'll do is we're going to go through we've been through the remote participation rules. We'll do the minutes. We'll take comments from the public. We'll hit Charlie. Tom will quickly discuss the plans for mowing. I'll hit a not weed removal request that we got. We'll talk about the planters that Tom and I looked at earlier this week, potty status, the shed installation update with Charlie, biped vents installation, update on Northwest Extension, and then Larry will hit fundraising. So that's the agenda, and I assume everyone has a copy. And I'm going to just quickly announce who's here. I think it's easier for me to do it. So we're supposed to find who's here. So we have from the Rail Trail Committee, we have Joe Anthony, we have Paul McNulty, we have Nancy McNulty, Scott Bornstein, Charlie Linicum, Tom Powers, Larry Perot, and Mark Jones. And we have Josh Morris joining us from the town liaison. And Sarah, hiding back there, is going to be taking minutes for us today. She's the secretary of the Friends of the Danvers Rail Trail. All right. So with that, let's first begin by approving any discussion and approval of the minutes from April 15th. They okay with everybody?
I had read them. They look good to me.
That's good. All right. Somebody want to
Make
move?
a motion. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from April 15th.
Seconded?
Okay.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No, we'll consider them. They are approved. Thank you. New business. Any comments from the public? And Mark, I think you'll be keeping an eye on the emails that may be coming in from the public comments email. And I did send out a note and offer to anyone that to our various folks that they're welcome to join. They just need to let us know. I didn't hear back. So if we have any public comments or new comments from people on the call currently. All right, good. The second piece of new business we had was mowing plans. This was just Tom and Charlie, if you maybe give an update to the group of what your plans are, and then anything that you want to, any help you might need from the group.
Okay, Tom and I discussed this yesterday. The tractor is going to be moved down to the trail on Monday, next Monday. And they just mowed the lot with new sheds going in sometime after we finished yesterday. So that's a good thing. Either Tom or I, a combination of both, will get the trail mowed by Memorial Day weekend so we look decent. We'll probably start mowing Monday or Tuesday. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. Swing in here if you like.
Yeah, I'm ready to go Monday.
Okay.
Dive right in.
So I'll be babysitting the shed builders on Monday, and Tom will probably grab the tractor when we get down there and
Yep.
and start and pick it up on Tuesday and see where we can get. So we should have it done by the Memorial Day weekend, no problem.
All right, and then right now it's Tom and Charlie will be planning to do the mowing, but if you're looking for more volunteers, I think just like have you reach out, and maybe we can reach out to a wider group. I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe Peter Hinchy, even with his arm in a sling, maybe he can mow.
Tom and I have a great training program. We'd love to get anybody in there we could.
Okay,
Anyone.
anyone. All right, so we'll leave it with you guys to set up whatever training you might need for additional mowers. Great, thank you. The next topic we had is knotweed removal. There was an email that I received that did not come into the Rail Trail email box, but I received it from a woman, which I pass on her name if we need it, concerned about knotweed on the trail, and that the fact that the way that the Danvers Electric has been mowing it may be increasing the issues with knotweed. I let her know that if she's really concerned about that, the best thing for her to do would be to follow up with Danvers Electric. We're not really responsible for that large growth along the side of the trails. I did remind her that some of the abutters actually like the knotweed because it gives them some screening. So I think at this point, I just bring this up so that the question was raised. I had a similar question about poison ivy. I told this person that we do not remove poison ivy. That again would be under the kind of the management of the Danvers Electric when they do their vegetation management, and that so if people have concerns about anything beyond the basic trail maintenance and mowing on the edges of the trail, they should check in with Danvers Electric. Comments on that?
I have a question. Joe Anthony, what is it that the mowing procedure that the electric company uses that encourages the growth of knotweed?
Well, I did not read everything she sent me, but I guess there's a concern that by actually cutting it down, you can increase and spread its ability to, you can increase its growth. The other thing that I noted was the others comment, I've been working on this trail now for about 10 years. The knotweed is basically in the same spots it's always been. It's not like there's been any significant growth of knotweed. So we really haven't seen a growth of it. But again, I'm not an expert in this. I just felt it would be best for her to contact Danvers Electric if she wants to dig in a little deeper into it. So
Dig in. Dig in.
dig in. Yeah. Okay. All right. Gee, we're plowing right through stuff. So the next topic we had was the review of the placement of the planters that were requested at Putnamville Park. And if you remember, there was a request from the Venezia family. Actually, what's their formal last name, Tom? I keep using her married name, but her whole family name. You're muted, Tom.
The family name is Datoli.
Datoli, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I don't know, Tom, if you want to quickly cover what we did there, what we chatted about. And
Well, the family took over the maintenance of the planters, and they're interested in replacing them with aluminum ones that are pretty common today. And a discussion ranged about size, and in the end, it was agreed that I think the 2 feet wide, maybe a 1.5 feet deep is what they're going to do. And they're going to do a few in different places at the Putnamville Park.
and they're not going to do, there was some concern raised about this. There's a really large one, a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot tub, which is really quite large. So they agreed that they did not want to do that.
Right.
And that they will put them, place them more or less where the planters are today, and which will be fine. And that they'll take the dirt out of the planters that are there. They'll use that dirt, and then they'll let us know when we can store those planters in our shed because we have a place to put them.
Paul, are those the planters that are right at the entrance to the park from the street?
Well,
Also-
There's about 6 of them, 6 or 7 of them.
Oh, so they're gonna do them all? Or,
I
because
don't
those,
think so.
those two right at the entrance to going in are in terrible shape. I don't know if those are theirs or somebody else's, but I noticed it last night that,
No, they're
Yeah.
ours.
oh, they're
And
ours. Okay,
And what happens is they get hit by the snowplows.
yeah,
So I think probably what my thinking is, Tom, I think they were just going to put in 3 along that curve and then 1 under the kiosk. So maybe a total of 4.
Right.
And we'll just remove the big ones at the top and get rid of them because they get creamed every year by the snowplows. So,
okay.
and I agree.
yeah.
Mark, they actually adopted these planters a few years ago. They just adopted the maintenance, and now they're
Yeah.
trying to upgrade to the aluminum.
Okay. If they look good, maybe I'll replace mine with one of those aluminum ones. We'll see.
All right. The next thing we had, potties have been installed now for about 3 weeks. They've looked fine. I don't know if anyone has any comments. Mark put together a schedule for folks. Questions, comments?
I checked Putnamville last night. It's my week, and I peeked in there, and it was. I don't know if you guys were there yesterday cleaning it, but it was spotless. So
Spotless. Wasn't me made it spotless.
spotless.
How
I'll use
about-
that word. I'll use that word loosely, but it was clean. Put it that way.
And Hobart's been in shape all week. Looks good.
Excellent.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
No, the one thing I noticed, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I noticed that they didn't have a toilet paper holder, that the toilet paper at Putnamville was just, we were on the ground, they were wedged into a corner, and where the toilet paper holder should have been underneath the thing, there was no rod there. So I don't know if we need to reach out to them or if anybody else noticed that.
When I look-
They're leaving them on the floor, they're, wedging them into an area.
It wasn't
So,
bad. Yeah, that's a change, Larry. Hey, Tom, you're out there. You're close. Can you just look in there to see what you see?
I will, yeah.
And then we'll just call them. When we were there on Wednesday, I remember there were.
I thought so too, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it looked fine, except that the toilet paper was on the floor,
Yeah. Okay. Whoever can take a look at it tomorrow, and then we can call them if
Right.
something's been removed.
Yeah, if there's no holder, I'll take a look at it and call them.
Yeah, because there is a holder that's like a pretty big long. It holds like 4.
Yeah,
rolls.
well, you can see the top part of it, but when you reach underneath, there's no rod to put the toilet paper on.
Okay, well there you go.
I looked like a couple of times. I'm like, that's definitely not there.
So that's why we're asking people to check them now and
Well,
then.
I didn't check that. I didn't look under there.
Well, I noticed the toilet paper on the ground, and I said, "Oh, I'll put it on the rod," but there was no rod.
Such a guy.
And Mark, I can't find my copy of the schedule. Can you resend that to me?
Sure,
I think I'm coming up like next week, but I'm not sure.
no problem.
Okay.
All right. Thanks again for everyone that's been doing that. The shed installation. Charlie, you want to give us an update on the shed?
Yeah, we had a nice little party there yesterday. We, thanks to Peter Hinchy, we went to a sod cutter, which did a fabulous job. We then put in around almost 4 tons of stone
That
into
was 4
the new
tons.
location. We had 12 and a quarter people at one point.
Wow.
It went very well. Got done a lot sooner than we thought. Next Monday, between 9:30 and 11:30, the shed folks will come in and they will do the assembly of the shed. And then on Wednesday, we have Medtronics coming in with 10 people and they're going to paint it. It's going to be the same paint scheme as the freight house is. So it looks like a railroad building. And so it's starting Monday, we can start storing stuff in it. It'll be, Paul, you and I have some real estate we get back in our houses. And off we go. We should be in good shape.
All right.
Thank you very much, Charlie, for organizing that and picking up that sod cutter. And it was a lot of work. So thank you for
Yeah,
that.
if what I'd like to do too we're buying from Home Depot and we're buying from Northeast Nursery. I was able to get us set up with an account at Danvers Hardware. So, and they're going to list us as a nonprofit. So if I can go to the Home Depot and Liberty, I assume you went to the one near the Liberty Tree Mall,
Yeah.
Independence Way, and I could go to Northeast Nursery with a copy of our nonprofit number and see if we can set up an account at those places. We might as well take it. It's not a lot of money, but $5 here, $10 there on sales tax. We could.
That'd be great. Yeah.
But
Well, I think it's a great idea because we don't have to put all the stuff on our personal credit cards.
Right.
yeah, and then I leave them with the credit card. Like we're set up. Like if you're buying paint for the shed, use Danvers Hardware for the paint if you haven't already got it somewhere else.
No, I'm doing that Saturday. I'm going to Danvers Hardware and getting all that material.
Okay, good. Yeah, because we are set up there. So
Yeah, and we have to settle up on the other 3 invoices and.
yeah, let me know when I have something. I could probably meet around 12:30, 1 o'clock. If that's
Want to
okay.
stop by your house around 12:30?
Yeah, actually, you could even stop by at noon. A couple of my wife's cousins are coming over after visiting. They're visiting her mother at Masco, and so I just wanted to be there for them. But feel free to stop by. I can even give you lunch.
Oh,
I'll stop by between 12 and 12:30 with all the invoices we can settle up.
Sounds, yeah. I just want to make sure I get everything straight
Yep.
on what to pay, who to pay what.
That's good.
Okay.
And I'll need that check for the shed company.
Yeah, I want to give you that check tomorrow too. Yeah.
Okay, great.
hey,
So
Charlie,
I think I'm going to quickly see if I can show you this. This is I have a couple of the pictures here, which I can show of the project. Can you guys see these?
Oh yeah, I haven't been by there yet, so that's great. Oh,
Pretty
wow.
good crew.
Wow. It was very noisy.
Very noisy.
Oh, very nice.
That's it. Anyways, it was a good project. Thank you again, Charlie, for the help, and Peter Hinch, if he's listening in, for really kind of demanding that we use a sod cutter. Without his demand, we would probably could still be there today.
I'm a
Really?
one again. I love sod cutters now.
Okay.
I apologize, Charlie. I wasn't able to make it
Oh, that's
yesterday.
all- We had enough. We made it.
Charlie, do you need help painting? Oops,
We're not painting. Medtronics. is
Okay.
painting.
they're all doing all of it. Okay.
Yeah, we may have to brush it up at the end. No, they're doing, it's all them on Wednesday.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. The next topic we have was the biped bench installation. So I have the 2 benches. We have a request from Ingrid to actually not to place one further down the trail. So I looked at a spot. We might want to do that. But what I think the best thing to do would be to just see if I can arrange a date for an installation. And I know there's a lot of folks here work. They're not retired like some of us are. So I was looking at maybe doing a Saturday or a Sunday to do the installation. I'm guessing we're probably talking maybe 4 hours to put these benches in. Do those days, does a Saturday or a Sunday work for folks? Is a better day for this?
Yep, generally works.
Mark, you'd like to come out, and Larry.
I'm not sure. I have a golf schedule.
Oh, Larry.
I'd have to check.
You sound like you're retired.
Depends what time of day.
Yeah, and when are you thinking soon? Because I get graduations coming up, but my daughter and everything. But the weekend's definitely better for me.
Right.
Personally.
So let me do this. Let me send out an email to this group with, I don't know, 4 or 5 weekend dates, and we'll just see what works for folks, and we'll try to do one of these on a weekend, and then maybe some other. I also want to ask some of the other volunteers, people that have said they'd like to help out, encourage some of them to come as well, because it's a good chance to meet them, some of these other folks. So, all right, so I'll send an email on that. Josh, you sent around I had a couple of questions, and you did a little research. Just give us a quick update on the extension plans.
Sure. So it appears, I don't know, I didn't get into the very particulars. It seems like some members of the group know more information about the bid and if someone won and the amount of the bid, but it does look like there were a couple bids submitted for the work, and it looks like from internal just emails that a vendor or contractor will likely be chosen or picked soon. And then I got an email about, your question about when it would start. So the town and the electric division has to do some work to the power lines, just in that general area. And because of the summer needing a lot of electricity, the majority of the work will probably not take place till the end of fall 2021, till this fall 2021. And then you had a question about the surface on each end of the bridge. And so part of the bridge work is resurfacing 200 feet on either side of the new bridge, and it will be stone dust like the rest of the trail.
So that would get us 200 feet would get us roughly to Hobart Street and roughly to Beaver Brook. More. I would hope they wouldn't stop at 200 feet if they got 40 to go. That gets us to the.
Sure. Yeah, we could look into that. Yeah.
So there wouldn't be anything from the trail to Hobart Street then?
That's right.
Oh, okay.
There's a little, that little section we're looking at pictures of.
Yeah.
With the shed. We'll have to, figure something out about that piece of it. There's that little gap that, so I'm not sure historically how in the past who, if it's DPW or which group or a set of people that needs to be involved in that, but
Okay.
yes, there should be some type of conversation for that little piece for sure.
Sounds like the biggest change is that the date moved out by a few months. So instead of June construction to begin the work for the bridge, it's more like October.
Yeah, that's what we originally thought, June or July, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the concern about the electricity wasn't brought up at that time.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure the reasoning, I guess that was the reason that I was told why it looks like it might be pushed back a little bit. Yeah, it's probably more September, that you'd probably start to see stuff happening, but not in stone,
I mean, Josh, I think there's an understanding that this is that this project's schedules change. I think if those of you that may have been at the town meeting on Monday, there was a question that came up from somebody at the meeting wanting to know about the extension. So I think if I can just ask Josh, you and Aaron, just keep us in the loop on these changes, because we do get asked. I mean, yes, the extension is being led by Aaron and the town, but we do often get asked what's going on.
Sure.
So he's just kind of keeping us up to date. If there's a schedule change, would be helpful.
Sure.
And just reiterate that it really would be silly to do all this, spend all this money and not to physically connect from the current trail to Beaver Brook, which is just what you propose is going to happen. There'll be no actual connection. We'll have a beautiful bridge. It won't connect anything. So
Aaron and I briefly discussed, yeah, that
Okay.
the situation, that the shed, that's right, that gap where that shed is,
Yeah.
yeah, we should have a conversation about, I'm not sure exactly who involved, but
Okay.
there should be a conversation for sure. Obviously, that would not make too much sense to have a gap in that location.
Yeah. Other
So
questions for Josh?
I have a point. Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna put 200 feet approaches to the bridge, Stone Dust Trail, it doesn't seem to make sense to not do a couple 100 feet more to connect to the existing trail and also to go to Beaver Park, which is a cross street that connects to the YMCA. And that's, I mean, that's ridiculous not to do the 200-foot, just do the 200-foot approaches and don't connect to make that bridge useful at the time of completion.
Yeah, so I think I agree, Joe. And I'm guessing that what's happening here is that the bid as it was written for the bridge stated 200 feet on either side. And that's but I will let the town come back with a more reasonable, I think, a more reasonable plan that actually connects that bridge to something. So we'll let Josh off the hook, and then he can come back next meeting.
Right.
Sure.
Tell us how they're going to do the next to it.
I'm just in this. I'm just a messenger at this moment.
All right, we want you to be more. Be an advocate. Right?
Oh yeah. No, I'm just trying to answer the question.
I know. Okay, thanks, Josh, for the update.
Sure.
Larry, any updates on fundraising?
A few donations trickled in the last week. A few hundred, maybe about $500 worth, and some ad hoc donations. There was one person that donated $150, but whose name I can't remember, but didn't appear that it was for a specific mile marker. So I don't know if we'd want to reach out to that person and see if they wanted to put that money towards a mile marker or just leave it as a general donation.
Yeah, that fellow has donated every year. I'll pass. I don't remember if he wants his name to be public, but he's donated now for a couple of years in a row, at least 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Ask him if he'd like to have a mile marker. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Bob Brown did send $100 specifically for paint for the shed.
Good for Bob.
Earmarked.
All
That's
right.
a restricted donation. Other than that, we've got, a good amount of money in the account still. We've got about $6,500 in shed fees and associated, other materials that we needed for the base of it and all that. So that'll be coming off the balance that we have now, which is just around $40,000 in the general fund. And the other funds really haven't changed at all. With minuscule amounts of interest that we get in those accounts, but they're there, waiting for the next round. But we're in good shape. We're in good shape.
Good. Thank you.
Paul, I just took a quick peek. So the gentleman that gives the money every year, that was a different one. The one that Larry's referring to is Donna D'Ambrosia, and she sent the 150 in. But she didn't, like Larry said, she didn't reference anything. It's almost like it's a renewal, but I don't know if it is a renewal.
Yeah, I looked for her. Actually, Mary, remind me, I looked her name up. I couldn't find her as a current sponsor. So Larry, checking in with her to see if she'd like to. I mean, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it might be worth reaching. Maybe that could be something for Laura to reach out on, or I know she still does some of that work.
I can reach out to her if you want.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark. Hey, so while we're on, just two other things, people are probably aware of this, but the warrant article there were two warrant articles related to the rail trail that did pass last on Monday. One was for the $8,000 that the town has set aside for small, I would call them smaller repairs on the trail. That was approved, and that, for example, this year went towards the repair of the spot at the dentist's office. So that was how that money was used. So that was approved. So there'll be $8,000 available going forward. And then also the request to allow some of the extension funds to be applied to some trail repairs, current trail repairs, was also approved. That just gives the town and gives us a little flexibility if there's something big that we really need to get working on, bigger than we would normally be able to afford. We have that flexibility. So I think that's a good thing.
So what you're saying, Paul, is we can use money from the extension account that we have? In the
I
bank?
didn't say that, Larry, just so
You
clear.
didn't? Okay.
What I said was,
I was unsure what you were
yeah,
meant
the
by
warrant-
that.
we can discuss that. In fact, I would probably recommend against that. But the town has, for the money that it's received, there's 3 or 4 different group sources of funds. That money can now be, some of it, a portion of it can be allocated towards current trail repair. But the primary use of that money is still the extension. It's not to reduce the extension. I would say for our purposes, for now, we should just leave the money in the extension fund that we have it in. We don't need it for anything else right now. Just leave it as
Okay.
is.
All right, I wasn't sure what you were referring to when you said
Yeah.
the extension funds.
Yeah, so no, that's the nearly $1 million that the town has received over the last couple of years
Got it.
for the extension.
Great.
Okay.
All right.
I'll also just put in a good word. I don't know how many of you are aware that Georgia is trying to generate $8,000 worth of donations for the pop-up park in downtown Danvers. They've got, I think they're up now to about $7,200 they've received. They're looking for $8,000, so they get a matching grant of another $8,000. So I don't know what you can do. You probably can Google Danvers pop-up park, but if you are interested in that, supporting that idea of a downtown park area right outside of CVS, you can you might want to look into that. I think it's a good idea. So. People flying through the agenda. It's not even just 6:30 now. I know.
You must be hungry.
I am hungry. So the next meeting date, June 17th. Does that work for folks?
Yes.
So,
And then a question for Josh. Are there any new guidelines from the town regarding in-person meetings?
I have been hearing chatter that the June meeting will likely, or we will be allowed to have in-person meetings. I believe, I don't have anything like definitive, but there probably will be in-person meetings starting to be allowed in June. I'm not sure if the group would like to continue this medium, which is a possibility, but the town has starting to discuss having the meetings of committees and groups in person. So I guess that would be the will of the group, what they would like to do. But
Let's just put on, well, yeah, what does the group think? Is there a preference in person or continuing with Zoom?
Like to meet in person.
me too.
Yeah, me
In
too.
person.
Can we vote on it?
Sure. I mean, okay, who's in favor of in-person meetings if they're allowed?
Wrong hand.
All right. Anyone opposed? All right. So that's great. So Josh, if you wouldn't mind digging into that, we'll just put on hold the location for now.
it probably would be if it was in person. It probably, because didn't this group generally used to meet in the Toomey room? Is that correct?
Unless
That's probably what would happen.
Yeah.
But
You-
Paul, you and I can work behind the scenes on that as that kind of gets more definitive.
yeah,
But
we
it's looking like if that's the will of the group, there's potential that meeting would probably be in person. So.
all right, great. Good to hear.
Just if I had Paul, if I could just say a meeting coming up. I had sent an email out, I think, to the group, but just that we are having there's like a public meeting next Thursday, 8 a.m. about downtown. We're doing a rapid recovery plan about downtown and what are some things that we could do to support the businesses downtown, and with the rail trail and that that connection, definitely looking to be improved at some point in this plan. I think that there might be some type of recommendation about those types of things that should happen. So it would be great if some people from the group, if they were available at that time, it would be great for for people in this group to participate in that public meeting next week.
Can you give us the dates, the time and the dates again?
Yeah, it's next Thursday, the 27th. It's at 8 a.m. It's a virtual meeting.
Okay, I see it now. Yeah.
I had sent it out, I believe, to the group maybe yesterday.
I got it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Virtual, that's even easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, virtual meetings are good for certain things, like.
Yeah.
like-
First thing in the morning, you don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll be impressed.
Paul, could I suggest also, in the past, we've met outside for our meetings.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to meet outside, like maybe at the shed or the senior center, like we've done in the past?
I like that idea.
I like that idea. Yeah.
Or like the library, or that green area.
Yep. Well, the shed would be kind of fun if we just got the
Gazebo.
shed.
Yeah.
I mean, can we, Josh, we need to get the agenda published like 3 or 4
Just-
days before the meeting, right?
Just 48 hours.
Oh, 48 hours.
That's it. Just 2 days.
So,
So on a what day? So on a two. I mean, so you could up until the two. If it's Tuesday that week, and you think that Thursday is going to be a nice night, if the group, if we want to make an executive decision that, I guess on the agenda we'd have to talk about, I guess where it's where the meeting is shed. We'd have to say like where the shed is and
we
stuff.
could
But
do that.
that type of we could figure that out. I don't have an issue or concerns with that.
So let's just look at the weather on that Monday.
Yeah.
Look at the weather Monday for Thursday.
Sure.
And then I'll get a note out to the group and we'll see if.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time wise, I'm just curious, could we meet, just thinking about it might be getting a little bit darker. Could we meet at 5 o'clock? Would that be a problem for people? I mean, Mark, you commute in?
Yeah, it should be okay.
It's light.
It should be all right.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll look at the weather and then we'll confirm things and then if maybe we'll do it outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I think we're done.
I did notice that Dave's Mobile's closed, so we may have a new abutter on the trail. I don't know what the
Really?
plans are there.
I
Oh, no.
My understanding is the owner's selling the property,
Oh.
so I don't know what the
Oh my God,
plans
get
are,
my
but
car inspected.
yeah, no,
No.
not anymore.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I know, really, yeah, that's right. Yeah, interesting, yeah. I also noticed that somebody, if you notice on that one tree that's right in the middle of the trail next to the Gibbs station, somebody came in not very well done, not very professionally, and removed the lower 6 branches,
At
8
least,
branches.
yeah.
Not quite sure who it was. Nancy thinks it was somebody from Gibbs just because they
I'm
parked there.
And they brought the trees in
Yeah.
the lot, yeah.
We were hoping the tree would be removed, but
Yeah.
they removed.
No such one.
So, nothing we can really do about it, but I
And
guess that,
Bill Graham, sorry, Bill Graham mentioned that he was there on Monday and there was a rod in the porta potty at Putnamville on Monday.
okay. On
So
Monday,
between Monday and Wednesday, somebody stole a rod out
The
of it.
mystery continues.
Ah,
thank you, Bill, for the update. All right,
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it.
Second,
All in favor?
likewise.
Aye.
Aye, bye.
Look forward to seeing everyone in person. Great
Person,
summer.
yeah.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Definitely.
bye.
Bye.